Today's recipe comes from WTAG's Gossip Bench Cookbook. Swap Session Recipes compiled by Julie Chase. Julie was a disc jockey on our local radio station, WTAG, which is also our local paper. This is another one of Mom's very well bookmarked cookbooks. One of her favorites from the collection. No copyright on this, but from the looks of it, I'd say it's from the 70s. And today we're going to be making Dixie pork chops. This is similar to another recipe we did earlier, which is like a sweet and sour pork chop, but that one we baked, and I just don't like the way how pork chops come out after you bake them. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be starting it on the skillet, and I'm going to be finishing it in the crock pot. Ingredients: 8 lean pork chops about 1 inch thick, 2 tablespoons of shortening, 1/2 teaspoon of sage, 2 medium-sized tart apples. I'm going to be using 3 Macintosh apples. 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of hot water, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1/2 cup of seedless raisins, and 3 garden fresh peppers. Brown chops in shortening in a skillet, place in the crock pot, sprinkle with sage and salt. Add flour to the shortening in the skillet used for browning the chops. Blend well, add water and vinegar. Arrange apple slices on the chops. Sprinkle with brown sugar. Arrange pepper slices on chops. Add raisins. Pour flour and shortening mixture on top of the apples and the chops. Cook in a covered crock pot for 6 hours. The original recipe was bake uncovered at 350 degrees for 1 hour or until done, and then baste it with hot water as you bake. Doesn't that look good? Smells great too. I gave it 5 hours instead of 6. I've got to go to work, and I probably won't be back for 8 hours, so I do not want to cook it for 12 hours. So I will be serving this over rice. As I say, winner. This is Dixie pork chops from WTAG's Gossip Bench Cookbook. Swap Session Recipes compiled by Julie Chase. She was a disc jockey on our local radio station, WTAG. No copyright on it, but I figure it's from the 70s. Addendum to the Dixie pork chop recipe. As you can see in the foreground, I have a ton of green tomatoes and peppers. Have nothing to do with the recipe. We've got a snowstorm going on. It's October 30th. There's 4 inches of snow out there. Last night, in the rain, the pouring rain, I was harvesting everything I could find. So it's been kind of a busy. I haven't had a chance to actually do a real recipe. And I scored 2 pounds of chicken nuggets from some friends. Thank you, Benson and Denise. And I needed to cook them in a hurry. So what I did is I modified the Dixie pork chops recipe for the chicken nuggets. Same ingredients. The only thing I left out was the shortening. Since they're already cooked, I didn't need to brown them in the skillet. And I replaced the vinegar with a white cooking wine. Came out great. It's a little unappetizing to look at, only because I had expected a short day at work, and that short day turned into a long day. So instead of 6 hours, I cooked it for closer to 10. But still very appetizing, and as we like to say, it was a winner.